On the news, Buhari asked the UN for help against terrorism at 74th UNGA. Service chiefs finally meet with members of House of Representatives. And 7 pupils die in Kenya school collapse. Hello and welcome. You're watching News Now on TV360 Nigeria. We begin in Plateau State, where some unknown gunmen have killed 3 people, including a 40-year-old community leader, Musa Yevu, in a fresh attack which occurred in Bassa local government area of the state. The killings occurred in Huke village of Mango district of the council area on Monday. The spokesman for Mango Youth Development Association, Lawrence Zongo, who confirmed the killings, gave the names of the 2 other deceased as Ladi Wu and Laraba Audu, a 36-year-old woman with a hearing impairment. Zongo expressed shock over the fresh attack on the community by gunmen. President Muhammadu Buhari has arrived in New York for the 74th session of the United Nations General Assembly, UNGA. The Minister for Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Oyema, says President Buhari will use the opportunity to articulate the priorities of the Nigerian government to the world. He also noted that Nigeria is hoping to partake in engagements that will help the country have seats in several organizations such as the International Maritime Organization, the World Heritage Committee, and the International Civil Aviation Council. Nigeria will also be pushing for the UN support in the war on terror, the humane treatment of migrants, as well as Nigeria's quest to recharge Lake Chad. Nigeria is still winning the battle against terrorism despite rumors to the contrary. Those are the words of Chief of Defense Staff Abayomi Olunishaki on Monday when he led other officers to the office of the Speaker of the House of Representatives. The House Speaker, Femi Gbajabiamila, told security chiefs that the National Assembly is concerned with the security situation in the country and need to hear from them. Present at the meeting are the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Ibok Etek Iboas, Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, and the representatives of the Inspector General of Police.
There's a sudden uptick in the security situation. I don't know if we've moved from orange to red, as they would say in other countries, and that's the reason why we have called this to find out what the challenge is there, why there's this sudden uptick, what can be done. It's come at a time when the budget is about to be presented in the next week or 2. So it's very timely, and there are money challenges. What can the House do? And that's why we're here. And I believe it's important that security is one of the major concerns of this government. And we have an obligation to arrest the situation whenever we can.
With respect to the security situation in the Northeast, especially Borno State, we are all aware that the armed forces, in collaboration with other security and intelligence agencies, have been contending with insurgency and terrorism for many years now. Indeed, the counter-terrorism, counter-insurgency operation in the Northeast predates the current administration of His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari. Despite the challenges we are facing, we have made appreciable progress. The armed forces continue to re-strategize to address changing operational situation and tactics of the insurgent terrorists. We have achieved better integration of our land and air power, as well as greater coordination with other security and intelligence agencies through regular strategic meetings at the highest level of command and down to the chain command. The super calm concept was born out of our need to re-strategize to meet changing operational conditions in the Northeast. I want to assure the leadership of the House that we will continue to do all we can to ensure peace and security in our country in line with our constitutional mandate, despite the challenges.
The Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, and the Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, has led a delegation to the United Kingdom for a fresh legal battle with British firm Process and Industrial Developments Limited, KNID, on Thursday. Other government officials part of the trip are the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, and the acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Ibrahim Magu. The British Commercial Court had in August affirmed the ruling of a London arbitration tribunal, which in January 2017 awarded $6.6 billion arbitral award against Nigeria over an alleged breach of gas supply and a processing agreement signed with PNID. The tribunal had ruled that Nigeria was liable for $6.6 billion in damages, which increased to about $9.6 billion with accruing interest. In judicial matters, Supreme Court Justice Sylvester Nguta, who faced trial for corruption, has resumed his official duties. Nguta was seen attending a ceremony on Monday in Abuja where the title of Senior Advocate of Nigeria will be conferred on 36 lawyers at the commencement of the new legal year. Now, the operatives of our Department of State Services, DSS, in August 2016, raided the house of Judge Nguta and some other judges. Nguta was later charged with money laundering before the Federal High Court in Abuja and with assets declaration breaches before the Code of Conduct Tribunal. However, both cases were dismissed in 2018 following a Court of Appeals verdict which prohibited the trial of a serving judge without being first disciplined by the NJC. And in Plateau State, the National and State House of Assembly Election Petition Tribunal has upheld the election of a lawmaker in the State House of Assembly, Abubakar Mohammed. People's Democratic Party and its candidate Zainab Dogo had petitioned the tribunal challenging the outcome of the March 9 rerun State House of Assembly polls. The petitioners alleged that election was marred with irregularities ranging from overvoting and non-compliance with the Electoral Act, praying that the tribunal declared Dago as a winner or order a fresh election. In a unanimous decision, the tribunal chairman, Justice Theophilus Nzugu, describes the petition as incompetent and lacking in merit. President Muhammadu Buhari has mourned the death of the Director General of the Nigerian Office for Trade Negotiations, Ambassador Chiedu Osakwe. The president says that the late chief trade negotiator had intellectual depth and demonstrated professionalism and patriotism in all the trade agreements he negotiated for the country. Buhari recalled that the late Osakwe chaired the negotiating forum of the African Union from June 2017 to March 2018, eventually giving birth to the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. In a message released by his senior special assistant on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, the president condoled with Osakwe's family on behalf of Nigerians and the Federal Executive Council. Meanwhile, the first-class monarch in Lagos, His Royal Majesty Oba Idowu Abiodun Oniru, has passed away. Oniru died in Lagos after a brief illness. He was aged 82. Under his reign, Iru Land, the host of the highbrow Oniru and Victoria Island, became a mega location with investment and buildings worth hundreds of billions. 5 of the abducted persons by unknown gunmen in Ajoku village, Oboko local government area of Osun State, have been rescued. 2 of the abductees, who were said to be heading towards Osogbo, were however shot and are said to be receiving treatment at a private hospital in Imesile. The security source, who claimed anonymity, says among those rescued were 3 siblings and 2 others. Former chairman of Oboko local government area, Sunday Ojo Williams, who confirms the release, says that those abducted were being held inside Olwa Forest, adding that efforts were on to rescue others in the custody of the kidnappers. A fire outbreak has engulfed the head office of Unity Bank PLC in Victoria Island, Lagos State. The bank confirmed the fire incident through its official Twitter handle, and in the tweet, the bank says the banking hall and other strategic business areas were not affected by the fire, which has now been brought under control. According to the bank, there was no casualty or loss of life during the incident. In a few days, the People's Republic of China will be marking its 70th anniversary. While the country has commenced plans to commemorate the day, which falls on October 1st, its citizens in Nigeria have already set the ball rolling. In Lagos, over 900 Chinese residents gathered to celebrate the new feat. And Fidelia Aguncha tells us more.
Home is not a place, it's a feeling. For these Chinese in Nigeria celebrating their 70th founding anniversary, this adage couldn't be more fitting. The mood is amplified by familiar decorations and art, including the popular Chinese red lantern. Since it was founded in 1949, China has grown its resources to become one of the world power today. And it's with great pride that the country's Consulate General in Lagos lists its other achievements.
After 70 years of development, China today stands at a new historical starting point. China's per capita GDP comes to $10,000 from less than $100. And the average life expectancy in China comes to 77 from 35. Especially since China started its reform and opening up in 1978. China's GDP has averaged an annual growth of around 9.5%, and more than 700 billion people have been lifted out of poverty.
Aside being home to over 70,000 Chinese nationals, Nigeria shares the same Independence Day with the Asian country. Over the years, both states have formed a strong bilateral relationship of mutual benefits.
Nigeria is the largest economy and the most populous country in Africa, while China is the largest developing country in the world. Since the establishment of diplomatic ties in 1971 and strategic partnership in 2005, in particular between China and Nigeria, our relations have maintained a sound momentum of development. The friendship between our two peoples has deepened and mutual political trust has been steadily consolidated. Because of our joint efforts, the practical cooperation in all fields between our two countries has borne rich fruit. The bilateral trade reached $8.68 billion from January to June in 2019, with 20.7% year-on-year growth.
But this relationship is not without any challenges. In 2018, the Nigeria-China currency swap agreement was signed to aid trade transactions between both countries. 1 year down the line, it seems the desired effect is yet to be achieved.
The truth of the matter is that because of the conversion that has to be in between our currencies, at the end of the day, most of our endeavors, most of our designs don't make so much economic sense at the end of the day. At the end of the day, whatever we gain with one hand, we are losing with another hand. So, and that has affected the fluency or the smoothness of the relationship.
With expanding bilateral relations and strategic cooperation, the Nigeria-China bond has defied many odds and is expected to stand the test of time. Fidelia Aguncha, TV360, Lagos.
We'll be right back after this break. Don't go nowhere.
Corruption not in my country.
Cut. All right. What's your name again? Kemi?
Yes, sir.
Good. Are you ready for us for next week?
Yes, sir.
Next.
No, sir. No.
What? Look, what we need here is one who can speak fluent English. Give her a chance.
I need a angel to hold me. Hold me, my beautiful angel.
Cut. It is Angel, not Angel. Please, I'm done with you. Excuse us. Kemi was far better.
It's not about our rendition. It's not about our performance here. By the time she and her friends join us in our hotel rooms, you will know how far.
Can I have her phone?
She has a robust profile.
Real robust profile. I do not undercut professional ethics. It is an act of corruption. Not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
You're welcome back. It's now time for business with Oyi Adekolo. Hello, Oyi.
Hi, Anita.
Now, we see Nigerians reacting not too well with to the decision or the early announcement of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Please give us more details.
Yes, you're very correct. So the policy of the Central Bank on cash deposits and withdrawals did not go down well with many Nigerians. The Apex Bank had announced that Nigerians will now be charged more for cash deposits and withdrawals in furtherance of its cashless policy. CBN's Director of Payment Systems Management Department, Sam Okojere, instructed deposit money banks to implement the policy starting from September 18th.
The cashless policy on its own is a fantastic policy. But what I'm saying is that the CBN needs to do more, and they need to enlighten people more, especially this selective thing. You chose Lagos State, you chose my state, Ogun State. Is it because we are near Lagos? Okay, if you think people in Lagos State can move across the border, so are you now saying that people in Ogun State cannot move across the border to Oyo State? Why do you leave out some states? Is that you make it blanket for everybody? Or this thing cannot be implemented, you leave it as it is. Go for better and more policy. The CBN is playing funny. Enough of sending papers or letters online, directive to banks, and we read it only online. Come out and tell us what you are trying to do. Bank of England will come, read out something and say, this is what we're going to do, and they give enough time for commencement. Here, we just give directive. You see it on WhatsApp groups, you see it on online and all those things. For me, that's not the way or the best way to do things.
You have to punish somebody for depositing money and punish another person for withdrawing money. Well, for what is the purpose? Why double jeopardy? You say people should save, people should deposit. Those who want to deposit, they have a reason for going to the bank to go and deposit money. Are you saying people should not go after deposits again? And if you want to withdraw, why are you punishing them for withdrawing? The banks in this country are overstressing their responsibilities, particularly even the CBN. We call some service charges, all sorts of things, all sorts of charges. And either you are reaching the banks and the banks go home. One thing that bothers me a lot in this country is that you find the banks saying every year they come up with profit after tax of billions. But there is no reflection of these billions in the society.
A decision by President Muhammadu Buhari to replace the current economic management team led by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo with an economic advisory council is one that has received both praises and criticisms. Many had commended the president, saying the new team comprises of experts who have what it takes to positively turn the country's economy around. However, some Nigerians have argued that a kind of conflict may arise between the new advisory council and the National Economic Council. In an interview with TV360, CEO of Grand Renaissance International Limited, Obinnaya Iruapa, suggests a coordination between both teams for the ultimate good of the country.
I can tell you for free that the president does not have enough time to engage in 193 member countries that would be at the UNGA 74, United Nations General Assembly. And then he's receiving ambassadors, receiving letters of credence, and admitting them into our country as a receiving state. I believe strongly that delegation of authority was behind him setting up the EMT and allowing the vice president, an erudite professor who has played in the private space, to manage it then. I do not think much has changed. We may not have scored 100% with the EMT managed by the vice president and the chief economic advisor. In order not to create a wrong impression, I still believe that the National Economic Council, under the supervision of the vice president, I still believe that the vice president should be allowed to coordinate, or you get the Minister of Finance, or get the National Planning Commission and the rest of them to work together so that we'll have one presidency, one economy, one people driving one agenda.
A Russian company, Medprom Group, has made a fresh offer to the federal government to finally put the Ajaokuta steel complex into operation. The company also indicated interest in maintaining the steel mill when fully operational. The offer was formally tabled before the federal government on September 10, where the ambassador of Russia to Nigeria, Alexei Shebashir, led a delegation of Russian officials to the Ministry of Mines and Steel Development. In 2016, a former Minister of Mines and Steel Development, Kayode Fayemi, explained that the federal government decided to jettison the plan because the company did not want to complete the steel mill. Oil prices rose more than 1% on Monday on doubts over how fast Saudi Arabia can restore full crude output after an attack earlier this month on its largest processing facility, and as tensions in the Middle East remained high. Brent crude futures rose to as much as $65.50 per barrel. The front month contract was at $65.04, up 17 cents. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures were at $58.73 a barrel, up 64 cents, after earlier hitting a high of $59.39. Despite efforts by top oil exporter Saudi Arabia to reassure global markets it can resume full operation by the end of this month after an attack in mid-September, buyers and traders remained skeptical. The attack knocked out half of the kingdom's oil production. We'll take a look at stock market review after this break. Please stay tuned. Trading ended on a low note at the Nigerian stock market today as investors started the week with losses totaling about 20 billion naira. The NSE is in dire need of a catalyst as the gains recorded so far this year have not been so consistent, and this is in fact wearing investors out, resulting in the drop of foreign inflows into the market. Today, key market indicators declined by 0.17%, which represents a drop of 41 points. And of course, market capitalization settled at 13.460 trillion naira. And of course, activity level at the market was also not impressive, as the total turnover realized from the sale of shares today went down from nearly 6 billion naira in previous session and barely even came up to 1 billion today. As you can see, the value of trade today stood at 888.172 million naira. And of course, the top losers at the end of trading today, we see Presco, USCN, and of course, Nigeria Breweries and Vitafoam with a combined loss of 30.26%. And on the gainers chart, the best performing stocks for today, we have Forte Oil and Cadbury chalking up gains of 1 naira 20 kobo and 65 kobo respectively. And just like Cadbury, we see that Zenith Bank also made a rebound today, and of course NTR gained 45 kobo to close at 4 naira and 95 kobo per share. And moving on to the global stocks today, trading in the FTSE is not any different from the NSE, which was of course bearish, and Dow climbed higher to 0.11%. Nikkei, just like Dow, 0.16% higher at the end of trading today. And that's it from here. It's back to you, Annette.
Thanks for that stock market update on you. We'll take a break here and we'll be right back. Please stay with us.
On TV360, we don't just ask the questions. What is wrong with amending the Constitution the way the National Assembly members have been doing it? We seek answers.
Constitution is constituent. Our problem is not lack of laws. Our problem is lack of the willpower to implement our laws.
Answers that provide clarity.
While we negotiate, we should try to make it a point that the girls must be complete.
The clarity you need to make informed judgment so that you can make the right decision and take action.
People are saying it is you politicians that are responsible for this, that you are the reason why this is happening.
All these dollars that call themselves governors in this country. I wish we had people like Tony at the National Assembly. God forbid that I go to join that panel.
TV360, providing clarity to issues.
7 children have died and scores were injured on Monday after a school building collapsed in the Kenyan capital, Nairobi, in an accident blamed on shoddy construction. The government spokesman, Cyrus Oguna, who confirms the incident, said 57 others are in hospital where they're receiving treatment. Hundreds of angry residents of Dagoretti, a poor suburb where many live in makeshift homes, swarmed around the site where rescuers kicked through the rubble. Eyewitnesses say books and desks were strewn from the debris of the 2-story building, a semi-permanent structure made of concrete, iron sheeting, and timber. Zimbabwe's state-owned newspaper has reported that the president, Robert Mugabe, had advanced cancer when he died in hospital in Singapore on September 6. According to reports, the former leader, who died aged 95, came to power at the end of white minority rule in 1980 and ruled Zimbabwe uninterrupted for 37 years and 7 months. Mugabe's health deteriorated rapidly after the outing, and he made regular trips to Singapore to seek treatment. In 2011, whistleblower site WikiLeaks published a diplomatic cable that said Mugabe had prostate cancer. Mugabe is expected to be buried next month at a monument for national heroes in Zimbabwe's capital, Harare. Several Premier League clubs have stopped their youth team players from attending Nigeria's future under-17 training camp in Abuja. This is coming after allegations of bullying and maltreatment of minors by Golden Eaglets coaches. Chelsea blocked 2 of their players, winger Adrian Akonde and goalkeeper Prince Adegoke, from joining the camp, while Arsenal did not release Malcolm Egbori. Manchester United and Liverpool have also said they will block their players from attending the camps if they're invited. Meanwhile, Leeds United are investigating claims by their midfielder Yinka Adeniji that he was bullied by the Golden Eaglets coaches while training with the team this month in Abuja. And that's all for here on News Now. Many thanks for watching. I'm Annette Felix. Bye for now.